What up, man? It's your big brother K Reno, and I felt like this topic was appropriate for this channel, Underground Dialogue. And this haven't been underground dialogue. This been like above the ground, way above the ground dialogue. Um, and while this may not get as much traffic, this channel may not get as much traffic right now as my channel, my other channel. I just felt like it was more appropriate to talk about this on this channel. So shout out to everybody who come over from my other channel to check this live out. But I see my homie Adam Anarchy is already in here, man. And I don't even know, look, I don't even know if you even familiar with what's going on over here, Adam Anarchy, because it's like we got to elevate, we got to rise above this way, this silly, foolish way of thinking that's going on. And normally I keep quiet about stuff like this, but I'm gonna touch on it today. For anybody who's been kind of on social media, especially in the in the black circuits, that was a video slash skit slash possible real life situation where this dude took this lady out on a date, and he pulled up into this restaurant called the Cheesecake Factory. And I'm just gonna get a short version. She got upset because she felt like she looked too good, or she was too good. She was above the Cheesecake Factory. And the Cheesecake Factory ain't no little cheap place. The Cheesecake Factory is not some little bootleg cheap priced restaurant. You're gonna spend some bread if you go to Cheesecake Factory on a date. You're gonna spend some bread. It may not be in an echelon with some of the more, high end, more expensive restaurants, but it's, you better be prepared to, you better have just a little something in your pocket when you go to Cheesecake Factory. But this whole big thing got out because the video went viral, and now it has triggered men and women, particularly black men and women. It's triggered them to further and continue this clash that's been going on, this head bumping about every little thing that's perpetuating this division between us. And I really believe that it's by design. But so what followed that was a bunch of men saying, well, man, look, ain't nothing wrong with the Cheesecake Factory, and and then a lot of women were saying, what's wrong with the Cheesecake Factory? Hey, it's all good. And the woman who refused to go into the Cheesecake Factory, she took the brunt of the criticism, even from women. I will say that. So I believe a lot of this stuff is by design, and we fall for it. The fact that I'm even talking about it, but it prompted somebody. We don't know who originated this list, but they created a list of places where a man should never take a woman on the first date. They made this list of places where a man should never take a woman on the first date. And I wish I had the list in front of me, but there were places on there that were just regular places. And it triggered the men again, because now it's like, man, it's a first date. I'm not going to take you to the moon on a first date. If we go sit in Denny's or something, this should be okay. So now the women are, so all this back and forth about what's an appropriate location for a first date. Here's the deal, man. Here's the deal. Nobody is talking about, everybody is emphasizing or focusing on where you go on a first date. as opposed to focusing on establishing or trying to see if there is a connection between you and the person that you're going on a date with. That's the number one thing. It should be about you and the person. And if somebody is focused on anything that's centered around location as it relates to a first date, I personally don't think that it should be heavily centered around how much something costs to do. Now, there are some women that may say, well, you got to show me how much you really want to be with me, so you don't take me to no little cheap place. No, ma'am, I don't even know you like that. I don't know you like that. What I will try to do is make sure that I take you someplace where we can have fun. And if we go somewhere where we can have fun, then that fun may or may not come with a high price tag. The date should be focused around the enjoyment of the two people that's on the date, not worried about how much money, how much did it cost to come in this place. Everything is centered around, I got a lot of particles floating around, y'all excuse that. Everything is centered around how much money a person spends, right? When it should be centered around the connection. Because when two people, first of all, we have to know each other, not know each other well, but we have to have met and have some type of acquaintance with each other in the first place to even agree to go out on the date. So it started before the date. It started wherever you met the person at. You met her at the club. You met her at the park. You met her in Walmart, wherever you met her at. That was an initial conversation, and that conversation led to her feeling like you were worthy enough to get her number, right? And then y'all may have talked a couple of times on the phone, try to establish some type of connection. All that had to happen before you even say, well, hey, well, what you doing Friday? Let's go hang out. Let's go. Before you even get to that question, something had to have happened. Y'all had to have had some type of communication, right? And usually, which is why a lot of people are kind of saying that whole thing was a skit or was fake or whatever. I don't know. I saw it, but I don't know. But one of the reasons why people are speculating that it could be a skit is because usually, it's only a few of us in here. I wanted to do this on this channel. I could have did it on my other channel. Usually when you invite somebody on a date, you already make it be known where you're taking them. Am I right? You already kind of let the person know where we're going, because you may ask them, hey, well, what do you like to eat? Let's go get something to eat. Well, what do you like? And they may say, well, I like this place or that place, or I'm good going here, or I like whatever. And then you say, okay, you ever been to such and such? And no, I've never been there. Okay, but I'm with it. So usually, even if it's a date that's centered around an activity, right? The date might be centered around an activity. They say, well, we're going to go to the little putt-putt golf thing, right? Or we're going to go to the art museum. You already usually know where you're going on the date. I have found out more that surprises come in, surprise dates usually happen more with couples that are already established. Not saying a lot, because if you've been with your woman and all these years and years and years, y'all may have a routine already. Well, we know where we're going on Friday. We know where we're going. But every now and then, just to mix things up, you may just take your woman on a surprise to somewhere that y'all don't normally go. And let's go eat. And she said, okay, where we going? And we'll see when we get there. And then you pull up and, oh, okay, wow, I've never been here. That happens with established couples, to my knowledge. When you first go out with somebody, y'all already know where y'all going for the most part. Am I wrong? At least that's how it's been, for me. Because I want to know. I don't want to be in the situation where I take somebody to this place and they have no clue. Or they take me someplace. I don't eat meat. So you taking me to the rib shack. You took me to the rib shack. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting there like, oh, man, hey, I can't eat nothing in here. So on first dates, you kind of know, right? It should be about the connection. There have been, but that's based on the character of the person that you're taking on a date. That's number one. Both sides, man and woman. Because some of these men act like the divas as well, right? This one is my fault. I had this thing in my hand, and I got all this dust flying. I had this little napkin in my hand, so it's my fault when y'all see the dust this time. But there have been many, many, many dates. Some of y'all may have been on these kind of dates. There have been many, many dates, first dates, where a man has taken a woman to the park. A man has taken a woman to a simple little eatery. And what made the date a great date was the conversation, not the location. Say that again. What makes the date a good date for the most part should be the conversation, not the location. Because I can take you to the most expensive restaurant in the world, high price, high end place in the world. If me and you don't get along while we there, we could either not get along, or we could just not have a chemistry. Even if we're not arguing, we just don't click. We don't have a chemistry. Or we're talking and the conversation is forced. We have nothing in common. And it's a bad date. And the only thing that a woman would be able to get out of it was be able to say, well, I had a good meal. I ate at this high-end restaurant. But for me, and maybe that's just the hood side of me, for me, I've been to expensive restaurants and all that, and a lot of times I don't even like it. Sometimes the food don't even move me like that because it's too fancy, it's too fly. Y'all done messed up the potatoes, man. Y'all done messed the fish up. It ain't. And sometimes at places like that, not all the time, but sometimes, see, I'm a portions guy. I'm big on portions. So I've been to expensive places and they bring the plate out. I'm like, this is it? You about to charge me $58 to eat this? I gotta go home and eat it again because I'm not full. So I'm not full and my pocket is empty. So it should always be about the connection. But in this day and age that we live in, too much emphasis is put on the the show, the presentation. And I do agree that I would say this here, it's two sides. If a man really, really likes a woman and he really, really wants to impress that woman, he may take her to a really nice place the first time because he's trying to establish, okay, I'm really trying to impress you. I want to do something that I feel you're going to really like, take you something, okay? That's because he's really trying. But there are other men who like, yeah, I like her, but I don't know you like that to just come out the gate taking you to this space. See? But there are a lot of women who, if they like the guy, and I think that's what it's really based around. See, if a woman really likes a guy, you know, they getting ready to go on that first date, she's not really particular on where they go. Would she like to go somewhere nice? Yeah, possibly. But it wouldn't be a deal breaker if they didn't. Because her focus is not on the guy's money or where he takes her, and her focus is on getting to know him. Just as his focus should be on getting to know the woman. And that's the problem. If two people like each other, and I've done this, if two people like each other and enjoy each other's company, they would be perfectly fine sitting in a parking lot eating some you-buy-we fried fish. You just sitting in the parking lot, tearing open ketchup packs, putting it on some fries, and y'all just laughing and having the best time ever. And all of these other different places to go, those places will eventually come if you and that person are clicking like that. Or they may not come because maybe neither one of y'all even care about that. So now this line gets drawn and this criteria gets laid out of what's acceptable, where is acceptable to take a person on the first date and not take a person on the first, and it's creating all this division between us as men and women. And the focus that should be placed on whether we actually like each other, that's out the window. Everything is based around, where did he take you? And then there's so much disappointment. Girl, where did y'all go? Girl, this dude took me. Name a place, y'all. This dude took me to the Olive Garden, girl. I was so disappointed. I could have went there myself. Okay, well, let's put the shoe on the other foot. Just say in a parallel, in an alternate universe, right? Just for a month, it becomes customary for Captain D's. Yeah, man, Captain D's, yeah. Right. Just say for a month, it becomes customary for women Just say they come out with this thing called Women Take Men on Dates Month. You know, they have Black History Month. They got Women Invite Men on Dates Month. So all month long, the woman has to ask, if you want to go on a date, you got to ask a dude. You meet a guy, I can guarantee you that guys are not going to be as picky and particular about where a woman would take them on a date. Now, some will say, well, that's because y'all are guys and y'all are wired up different. Y'all just trying to get one thing anyway. Y'all ain't worried about that. And y'all, well, there may be some truth in that. But what more truth leans towards the reality of that, we just not tripping like that. And a lot of women are not tripping like that. If y'all like each other, y'all ever heard of the OJs, man? The OJs got a song, man, that sums it all up. The man said, I like what you like what I like. That's all that matters. If we find a common ground in the midst of our conversation, we say, oh man, we got a lot in common, man. Oh man, this girl is funny. Oh man, we really get each other. You see what her mind is in terms of her future and what she's trying to establish and what she wants to be something and build something, and you forget where you at. You can have that conversation standing next to a dumpster downtown. You forget where you at because you focus on who you with. So all this attention is being placed on where we go instead of where we at, what we do, how we think, how we view each other. Because how we view each other has been turned into something that's based on what we do for each other. See, I only view you my view of you is based on what you do for me. And the minute you stop doing for me, then my view of you changes. Jordan King say, take it to Timmy Chan. Oh, you gonna get full at Timmy Chan. But the reality is, if we go to Timmy Chan, see, in my opinion, I'm gonna tell you my opinion. Just maybe I shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. If you really want to test, because the woman may be in a situation where she wants to do some things. She wants to see what a dude mind. This ain't all about just the dudes fighting, going against the women and the women going. No, it go ways. But I'm speaking as a man because I am a man. Sometimes if you just want to see what they had at, that may be the time to take them to Timmy Chan. If you eat Timmy Chan, that might be the time. You know what? No, we don't. Steak 48. Is that one of the more high end? I've been to Steak 48, but I didn't pay, so I don't really know the prices. But they got valet parking and all that, so I'm assuming it's pretty high end, I'm guessing. But that might be the time to take her to Captain D's. Taurus, let's go to Captain D. Take her to Captain D's. And look at her face when y'all pull into the parking lot. When y'all pull into the little thing at Sonic. Pull into Sonic and then push that button and then look over at him like, what you want? And if she goes, yeah, give me a number 4. with a little slushy thing, you might be like, that's a keeper right there. But if you pull up and she, or y'all walk inside the place and she, wow, then you might have to mark that down in your mind, like, okay, you know what? She's not even giving me a chance. And your whole character becomes judged off of that one initial trip to this particular place. Now my whole character is judged based off of that. The whole perception of whether or not I'm a good guy, or it's based off of this one first date because we went to this particular place. Now, in the case of the guy at the Cheesecake Factory, whether it's a skit or not, I'm sure, like any guy would think, if he had in his mind that he's gonna take her to the Cheesecake Factory, I'm sure in his mind he was like, okay, that's a pretty good place to go to eat on the first date. I'm sure he had no inkling that it was gonna go like that going to the Cheesecake Factory. I'm certain he probably was shocked, like, wow, I would have been shocked. Hey, look, man. If I take it to the Olive Garden, in my mind, that's cool. Olive Garden's my favorite place to go anyway. But some women get caught up in how much money you spend. You have to show me what my value is to you based on how much money you spend on me. I may not like your character. We may not get along. You done took the girl to Golden Corral. You want to see what she about? Take her to Golden Corral, man. Let's see. Let's see how she really feel about you. And another mistake that we can't make, y'all. Another mistake that we can't make is focusing on the entire dating pool. See, we get into these arguments because we start looking at the field, the whole field, like, and we start saying things, we start speaking in the plural. We start saying, well, see, that's the thing. See, women this, women that, men this, men that. We speaking in the plural, and we are lumping every individual into the collective in terms of thought process. Like, you're a dude, so you think like this. Yo, you a woman, so you think like that. When in reality, that's not the truth. Even if you do a poll and they say, well, 43% of women agree that this is this. 22% agree that it's this or this. That's 3% that agree on something else. So we can't lump everybody into that pool, because when they came out with that list, when the women came out with the list that said all the places that a man should never take them on a first date, there was a lot of women in the comments like, I ain't got no problem with going here, 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 and here. So we can't just generalize like that. We focusing on the whole pool instead of focusing on finding the one person that y'all are here like this with, that you click with. Don't worry about the pool. Because you're not going to date every woman in the world. And a woman is not going to date every man in the world. It's not like the NBA. In the NBA, you play 82 games. Every team in the NBA throughout the course of a season will play every team that's in the league. So the Rockets are going to play the Knicks a couple of times. The Atlanta Hawks are going to play the Lakers a couple of times. Golden State's going to play Sacramento 3 or 4 times. Everybody plays everybody. That's not how it is in real life, in the dating world. It don't work like that. You have 8 billion people occupying the planet Earth in the current time, approximately. It's impossible. You're not going to live long enough. You're not going to travel enough. You're not going to meet everybody in the world. So you're only going to come across a handful of people in your lifetime. Wilt Chamberlain said he slept with over 20,000 women. Now, let's just say, for the sake of argument, that Wilt Chamberlain actually did sleep with 20,000 women. Just say he did. That still would not be even close to him having interacted with all of the women who existed during his lifetime. He still are millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and hundreds of millions that he never met. So it does no good for us to look at the pool and go, see, y'all this, y'all this, y'all. Focus on finding who works for you, who's compatible with you, who has chemistry with you. And when you do that, when you see these types of scenarios, Cheesecake Factory, darling, you're going to laugh at that stuff. I'm like, silly. You're going to laugh at that stuff because it's like, it don't apply to me. Me and my woman can sit in front of 7-Eleven and eat some pizza that was warmed up in the stove. And we'll have the time of our life, see? It's about the connection. Not where you go. When people get along, they can have fun anywhere. It's like growing up in a household that didn't have a lot of money. And you had brothers and sisters, maybe 3 or 4 of y'all, 2 or 3 of y'all grew up poor or grew up just not having a lot. But the family, but it was a loving family. Mom and daddy wouldn't funkin' and drama. Y'all had fun. Y'all did activities in the house, the stuff that didn't cost money. Y'all rode to the park and did stuff that didn't cost, and just had a fun time. Phantom Face says that's why some women don't have a man, because they be listening to women who don't have a man. That's true. And a lot of women don't like to hear that, but it's true. Because we take advice from people who are messed up. And I'm not saying that you can't get good advice from somebody that's messed up, because sometimes a person can give you advice out of their experience. Like, hey man, I was on drugs for 15 years, ruined my life, I lost everything, man, I went to jail, and don't do this, don't do what I did. Okay, that's some good advice. Now you looking at him now like, yeah, he's messed up. He's a physical manifestation. I'm seeing why I should listen to him. But What Phantom Face is talking about, he's talking about women and people in general who they have just been a train wreck. They have been the catalyst behind failed attempt after failed attempt after failed attempt, and they are giving other women bad advice. See, like for example, you in a good relationship, but y'all are in a rough patch where y'all are having some problems in that moment, but it's not something that should necessarily be viewed as a deal breaker. Like you might say, well, man, you know what happened? Oh, girl, we got into it last night. You know, it's this job that I want to take, and he don't want me to take it because I got to work late, and then we got into an argument. You need to leave him alone. He don't tell you how to do. If you got to work that job, see, that's bad advice. Then you look at the lady and it's like, okay, well, you know what? She's been my friend for 12 years and she can't never keep a man. She been divorced twice. That's not who you should be taking your advice from. You shouldn't be taking your advice from these internet people who are just saying things for sensationalism and for views and for shock. But you shouldn't be taking your advice from them. All men are this and all women are that. No, that's the problem. We too divided. And we fall for that. So somebody who has no relationship and are coming to you under the disguise of a friend, they want you to be like them. They want to ruin your relationship. They want to end your relationship. They want you to be single and miserable just like they are. See, I wouldn't let no man talk to me like that. Yeah, you right. You would not. You have proven that you would not let no man do that. You would talk to you like that. Even if the man ain't, even with that serious what the man even did or what you accused him of doing, you are right. Because we've seen you time and time again blow through relationship after relationship, and you are lonely and alone and getting older. But men do it too. We just do it in a different way. Hey man, don't be falling in love with these. Hey man, look, man. You young, man. You go out there and get you another. If she start acting crazy, man, you move on, get you nothing, man. And you sitting there listen to the OG, and he ain't giving you real OG advice. And then you go, yeah, man, yeah. Man, there's too many of them out here for you to be sitting around worried about that. Yeah, you right, man. And you let a good one slip through your hands. You let a good one go. Come on, come ride with your boy, man. We're gonna go to the strip club, man. Get your mind off of her, man. You ain't gotta worry about that. All right, man, let's go. You know, blew a good one. See? You can ask people for advice, but at the end of the day, the decision is going to be yours. I will ask you for advice, but I'm not going to allow you to make my decision for me. And you are not going to be the only person that I may ask advice from, if depending on how critical it is. Because certain people, you don't want everybody in your business. You don't tell everybody what's going on with you. But you may have a brain trust. You may have a core group that you go to. Hey, man, tell me what y'all think about this, man. And you get different opinions, different perspectives that you can that can be consolidated into one point of understanding that makes you say, okay, well, you know what, this is what I'm gonna do. But you got to recognize, don't nobody know your woman like you know her. They shouldn't. And nobody should know your man like you know your man if you're a woman. Because people will tell you stuff about your man or your woman that's not true. Well, see, his problem is he did it. Then you have to go, but nah, that's not true. He not like that. He not like that. Girl, he gonna start hitting on you. Watch. Nah. You know the guy. Don't let people put a label on the person you dealing with when they don't know them. The advice they give you is only like just general relationship stuff that may or may not be able to be applied to any relationship. But that don't mean it's going to be right. But you're not going to date everybody in the world. Focus on finding that one. Happiness is not centered around money in a relationship. Is money a key necessary component for certain aspects of life and in a relationship? Absolutely. Because y'all don't need to be two lazy, broke people laying around being non-productive either. But it shouldn't be the starting point. My attraction to you or my gravitation towards you shouldn't be based on, oh, she got some money. Oh yeah, she make 200,000 a year. Yeah, I'm gonna go holler at her. Same with a woman. Oh, he just got drafted to the NBA. I'm gonna go holler at him. Our motivation is off. Our motivation is off. And then we become bitter. We become bitter based on the experiences that we had when normally, again, you picked them. You picked them. So you could be upset at a person for doing some crazy stuff, wanting y'all in a relationship and in the end of the relationship. You could be mad about that. But but then you gotta say, okay, well, yeah, you know what? That's on me though. I chose him. So yeah, I'm gonna get rid of him. But I'm not gonna be around here 2 years later still telling people, yeah, you know, oh girl, man, yeah, she the one that mentioned me. Nah, man, dude, take your part. Eat the part of the meal that you cooked. And quit blaming everybody for 100% of it. Eat what you cooked. Because that's what makes us bitter. So, again, I don't know if that was a skit or not. I don't know. But I do know that if I was to meet a female tomorrow and we talking about going on a date, me personally, I would have already have discussed possibilities of where we can go or where we're gonna go. It's not gonna be no surprise when I pull up to the Cheesecake Factory and she's like, but even if the phone conversation goes left because I may mention a place and she go, what? Ugh. You want to take me to the Olive Garden? I'm going to look at that as a plus because it's going to save me time. Because I'm going to now know, oh, okay, well, she thinks like that. She's not focused on the date, the process, the conversation, and getting to know each other. She's trying to see how much money I'm gonna spend on her. She's trying to ball out. I told you. I want that woman that I can sit in the parking lot with and eat a fish sandwich. what I told y'all. We sitting in the parking lot with a fish sandwich and some fries, and we just laughing and having the time of our life. That's the person you want. Because what women have to understand, what some women have to understand, some already do. When a man sees that side of you, oh, he ready to give you, he ready to take you to all the best places then. And it's gonna crush him if he's not able to. That's what y'all gotta know. Don't try to swing for the fence and hit the home run the first night. Because men equate that to the same way. If a man sees that a woman is just going straight for his money, that's kind of equated in the same way. If a woman sees that a man is trying to go straight between her legs on the first night, it will disappoint a good woman. You really like this guy. Y'all been talking a little bit and blah, blah, blah. Y'all go on a date. And then he like, oh, hey, go back to my house. And she already know where your head. And now she like, ah, man, I thought he was different. And he wasn't. She disappointed because you trying to go straight for the goods. So while the woman's body is absolutely more valuable than the money, than the man's money, it's nothing more valuable than the woman and her body and the sacredness and the beauty of her body. But that's how a man looks at it. With the principle of it is kind of in their mind the same. Like, well, if you like somebody, it's a disappointment. But if you don't show that side, he'll come, he'll be ready. He'll be trying to figure out ways. This dude might have never just grinded like that until he find the right woman that he wants to do things for. He's like, man, this fool worked 2 jobs now. Wow. Oh yeah, he in love. Because he wants to do that. And those women who never ask for stuff. They never ask for stuff, man. They not always got their hand out trying. Men are like, that's her right there. Not because the man is cheap, not because the man is like, oh yeah, that's good. She don't ask me for nothing. I can hold my money. No, it's because he understands that that's not what she's just after him for. So it makes him now want to give it to her. That's just how it works. It's how it works. He lets his guard down. So now I want to take you to Steak 48. I want to take you to back where I guess Houston, is Houston still around? I don't know. When Houston's was, I want to take you to Houston, wherever the high-end place. I want to take you to a trip out of town and we're going to stay at the best hotel. I want to take you to these places now. And sometimes women be like, we don't even have to do all that. No, let's just go sit in the park. And they want the simple thing. Those kind of women, they want the simple thing. Bro, y'all don't understand. Well, a man will just melt when he find a woman like, oh, I love you. Oh, I love you. Because in this society, you don't see it a lot. But to get on the men, just because you don't see it a lot, it doesn't mean that they don't exist. There's a bunch of good women out here. Man, ain't no good women out here. You a lie. See, women are like the dating pool is it's like the rap game. You know how people say, man, ain't no real rap out here no more. All the rap is mainstream. It's whack. It's commercial, man. It's mumble rap. It's all, man, rap is trash. Ain't no good rapping no more. That's a lie. Just gotta dig and you gotta find it. You gotta know where to look for it. You gotta know what to look for. Same with women. Gotta know what to look for, know where to find those type of women and pray that you find one. But here's the key. We can't be praying and hoping to find a good woman and we not qualified as a good man to even have a good woman like that. We don't deserve a woman like that when we ain't right. Because I hear, I don't want to use the word terrible. I hear bad guys complaining about not being able to get a good woman all the time. And I'll be like, you complaining because you can't find a good woman, dude. Look at the stuff you be doing. These your homeboys and stuff. You're like, come on, dude. You think that you deserve a good woman? Let me see what y'all talking about. We got the great LW in the building. I've never let a guy buy my meal, not even in my relationship. So pick whatever you want. So you saying in your relationship, even once y'all are like in, I can see that sometimes on the first date, because if a woman doesn't trust a guy, if you don't know a guy, you don't trust that guy like that. She may say, I ain't gonna let this dude pay. We gonna go Dutch because I don't want him to feel like I owe him something at the end of the night. Because dudes will do that. Man, I spent $75 on your food. You bought all them drinks, and then I thought you just invited me on a date. I didn't know you was trying to pay for an escort, a prostitute. You thought I was a prostitute. But once we in a relationship, as a man, just me, I'm gonna pay 99% of the time. But there are those every now and then situations where just say if it's your birthday or something, your wife might say, well, no, I'm paying for everything today, baby. I got it. This your birthday, this your day. I got you. Boom, I'm gonna pay for your stuff. Or just certain times, hey, baby girl might have got a promotion at work, a bonus at work, or she just want to just do something like, look, you pay all the time, baby. Let me get it tonight. And a man gonna go, no. And then she find, no, I got it. Let me get it tonight. But again, a man is gonna appreciate that. He's gonna be like, oh, okay. Even if he may not be comfortable with it. L-Dub, I'm starting to wonder about you. You have some quirky little ways. You say you don't like gifts. Well, to each his own. To each her own, to each his own. But those are the things that we should be looking at. There are women who, once they like you, they don't want nothing but your time. They just want your time. They just want some time from you. Now, of course, time may consist of going places, doing things, and spending money. But if y'all have a mutual feeling about each other, then that's what it is. I'm focused on the company. That's what I'm focused on. Because things can take a turn for the worse, and the very things that the superficial things that you went for first can all of a sudden mean nothing. What are you talking about, K Reno? What are you talking about? I'm talking about a man who goes after this woman because she just looks so good, she's so attractive, she's so fine, or whatever it is. And then she goes on that date with him. And she may not be picky about the place. She may not have a problem, like my homie Tara said, going to Captain D's. Y'all sitting in Captain D's, and at first you like, wow, man, she ain't tripping on what's being in Captain D's. But she start talking crazy. You start seeing signs of her personality that she tell you that she worships the devil. But I'm a Satan worshiper, so I don't know. And you're like, So all of a sudden, now it don't matter how fine she is now. At least it shouldn't. Some cats are still like, well, yeah, she worships the devil. I'm gonna still try to hit though. But certain things become a deal breaker because now things that are going on up in here have diminished the attraction that was coming from here, the eyes. Same with a woman. Yeah, she went for him because of his money. She went for the woman for the money. The woman went for the money. Then she find out this dude like to beat on women. Or he's disrespectful. The whole night, y'all sitting at the table, he cussing and calling y'all kind of names and arguing with you and being overly aggressive. You don't even feel comfortable and safe. So now you like, I don't care how good he looked and how much money he got. I'm trying to get out of here. You start texting your homegirl on the cool. Hey girl, call my phone. Y'all know how y'all do. Call my phone in 5 minutes and just go along with whatever I say. Then your homegirl call the phone in 5 minutes. You're like, hello? What? Okay, I'm on my way. Oh my God, I'm on my way. I'm sorry, I got to go. My friend, her son her baby son is in the hospital. I got to go. They just told me they had to rush my mama to the hospital. I got to go. Y'all gonna get out that date. I shouldn't be giving y'all this little game in these kind of situations. Come on, Jimmy, you know what it is. Yeah. Nah, El, ain't nothing wrong with good companionship. I said you was weird because what woman in a relationship doesn't want gifts? You know, if a man thinks enough about you to say, to come home and go, hey, look what I got you. I saw you talking about that thing that you liked, that little thing, and I went and got it for y'all. I ordered it for y'all for Amazon. And what would you do? You're gonna go, I don't like gifts. That's why I was thinking of, go to the bathroom and leave. Well, that's cold right there. I think there's ways out of it than just more so than just skipping out. But people skip out all the time. I wouldn't skip out. I would just end it straight up. If it was that bad, I would skip out. I wouldn't skip out. I would just let the person know, well, look, man, let's go ahead on and wrap this up. We get the check and we're gonna wrap this up. You know, I wouldn't just leave. I've been on some crazy dates, I have, in my lifetime. And on the first date, you ever been on a first date where you knew it ain't gonna be a second one? You are in the middle of the first date or early into it, and you like, I'm I'm gonna fight through this, but this person will never see or hear from me again after tonight. They will never see or hear from me again after tonight. See, that's just the reality. Because you know what it is that you rock with. So if you're a laid back, chill, cool type of person, you don't want no smoke, you don't want no problems. But the person you're going to date with, male or female, the person you're going to date with, they flipping out, they loud, they mad at the waitress. It's got a problem with everything. In your mind, you're like, nope, not no more after tonight. It's all over. So I see you, brother Chris. It's a necessary topic. It's a necessary topic, in my opinion, because all this division that's been created, and part of the division is mainly a guard that we have up. We got this guard up, and the guard is up. Men have a guard up against women, and women have a guard up against men because of past situations. And now trust issues have kicked in. Trauma has kicked in. Triggers are now present in us. And we're defensive. And we still want love. We still want love. You want that happiness that comes along with that good relationship. You still want it, but you act like you don't because you don't want to let your guard down. Well, I'm not worried about that right now. I ain't worried about these men. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You want a good man. You want happiness. You want love. You just scared to. You got trust issues now. So you got to play hard. So in your mind, I won't get hurt no more. I'm not putting myself on the line like that no more. Well, number one, you're not trusting God. We only trust God when it's convenient. We don't trust him when you're really supposed to. We trust him when it's easy to trust him. Oh, things are smooth. Yeah, I trust God now because ain't no pressure. But when it's pressure, when you're really supposed to lean on him, I ain't trying to hear all that right now. It's the problem. Not going to be successful without God. Not. Can't do it on your own. You've been doing it on your own. You've been making the selections all these years. And how's that worked out for you? You ain't one time said, okay, God, I don't know what I'm doing. Well, now, it was him. If he wouldn't have it, well, if you wouldn't have picked him, or if you wouldn't have picked her, because these dudes be crying about women too. So anytime you see a list of, well, this is a place that a man should never take a woman in, or anytime you see these dudes talking about, brother, go get your passport. That's division. That's breaking the whole, that's drawing a line in between the union between men and women, the proper union that God wants us to have. So we watching all this internet crap and we buying into it. We in the comments, yeah. Got a Negro like me on here making a live about it. I don't even normally touch this kind of stuff, but I have been lately. Not because I'm falling into the trap of the gossip. It's because I'm worried about where these types of topics are taking us, because we lean more on those thought processes that we feed into our mind every day on the internet. We lean more towards that than towards the right principles that can make our relationships better. We lean more towards the BS, which is structured mainly for division and for entertainment. You find yourself arguing. People are already in marriages and relationships. They end up arguing behind this stuff because they reading it. You done showed, hey, baby, look at this here. And then she go, oh, I don't blame her. I wouldn't have went to the Cheesecake Factory. The next thing y'all arguing. Come on, man. I don't know how y'all start talking about Pam Grier and Thelma from Good Times. I don't know what they got to do with what we're talking about right now. Both of them are beautiful. How about that? Shout out to the homie Phantom Face, because he always big ups his wife. And I think, bro, that you are an example of how Black love can be successful. It can work. And love, period, can work. See, a lot of people have given up on love. It's like, man, you just ain't nothing out here. You're not gonna find nobody. I know a lot of happily married couples. For some people, that's hard to believe. Like, I know a lot of happily married couples. I ain't gonna say a lot. I know a lot is, in this day and age, like 5. It's possible, y'all. It's possible. But when you date, man, you're not, date for the right reason. Approach a person, try to get to know a person for the right reasons. I'm gonna give me some of their money. Wrong. Oh yeah, I'm gonna smash old girl. Wrong. Wrong reasons, man. Stacy R says, come down to tolerance. What you mean? Explain that one. Jimmy said, I ran out of gas on my first date with my wife because the gas hand didn't work in my car. And I coasted to He said he coasted to the gas station and she didn't even know it. Did you tell her later? So y'all married now. So did you tell her later on, hey, I'm gonna tell you something you didn't know about that first date? I ran out of gas because my gas hand wasn't working. Please tell me you told her. Because that story went somewhere. I thought you was gonna say y'all ran out of gas and y'all was stuck. And she still like, she hung in there. Oh, so yeah, you told her about it? Did she know? Because sometimes you try to do some stuff, you plan it off, and the woman knew all along. She just let you make it. You're right, magnetic. And she had to get out and push, help push. See, that would let me know I got a good one. If I went out on the first date and ran out of gas, and she actually helped me push, or even if she didn't help me push, she didn't trip. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, and this is just how I am. Just say I went on a first date, and she picked me up and she ran out of gas and we were stuck on. I might be laughing. I'm the kind of guy that I'll find a laugh in it. I'm not gonna go off on her and how could you not have no gas? You knew you was coming to pick somebody up. I might be like, man, this is funny. Now don't let it keep happening now. Communication is the key in any relationship. Yeah. You gotta have somebody that you can actually communicate with. Some people you're not even able to communicate with because y'all are just on two different wavelengths. Y'all are just not wired up the same. It would never work. Because you're saying stuff and she like, and you saying stuff and she like, y'all are just off. But yeah, hey man, you find out quick what a person is really involved with you for and what they are willing and the type of person they are. That's what I want to say. And sometimes an adverse scenario will reveal that. See, you want to know all kinds of things. You want to know, is this person selfish? Does this person have a bad attitude? Does this person have poor communication skills and people skills? Like Brother Chris just said, things like that. One of my favorite movies is A Bronx Tale. And if anybody ever seen A Bronx Tale, y'all saw the scene where the gangster Sonny, he teaches the young dude when he's getting ready to go on a date. He teaches him about the door test. Y'all know what I'm talking about if y'all saw this movie. He said, what's the door test? He said, the door test is you open her door first and let her sit down in the passenger seat. Then you walk around. If you walking around to the back, now this old school. This ain't like the new cars. This back when you had to pull a little lock up with your hand. They didn't have automatic doors. He said, if that woman doesn't reach over and unlock that door for you, he says she's selfish and you should take her home in the date right off the bat. Cut off because she's selfish. But if she reaches over and unlocks that door for you before you get to that car door, then you gotta go. So it's about the door test. And I remember being a young cat watching that movie for the first time. And I was like, that part got me. I was like, yeah, the door test. But of course, you know, they don't make those kind of doors no more. The locks are not like that on cars. But there are other ways to see where people see. I'm big on unselfish people. I don't like selfish people. And that doesn't mean I'm telling you, you know, that a woman just has to just give me stuff, give me money. No, no, no. I'll do the majority of the giving. Like I said, like 98% of the giving. I have to know that if a scenario presents itself where I do need you to give or you're required to give or help me, I have to know that not only will you do it, but you will willingly do it. Not, see, because there are people that would do things for you, but they'll do it begrudgingly. They'll, all right, man, how much you need? Oh my goodness, I just got this money. And you already, how much you need? Keep it. I don't want it no more. I need to know that you would do that. Like you willing, you ready, you want to help me. Selfishness is a quality that I don't tolerate at all, because you have to trust me. You gotta trust me. If I walk in the door and I come in and I ask you for your last $5, I need you to come up off that $5. Because number one, if I come in there and ask you for it, based on what my track record is gonna already be in terms of giving and providing, you should have no hesitation. Okay, well, if he asking for it, he must really need it. I don't care if it's my last. Baby, here you go. And you're going to trust that whatever I need to do with it is going to be for our benefit. I don't want to hear you, this is my last $5. You going to, I ain't, that's all I got. Mm-mm. Nope. I hope I didn't upset the ladies in the chat. Wasn't but a few of them in here, but I see they've kind of disappeared. I don't know if they still hanging around, lingering around. But hey, man, I'm just speaking it as real as it is. Yeah. Let me go back to who made that comment about tolerance? I gotta find that real quick. How much you can tolerate of the other person. Yeah, it depends on what it is. See, there's certain character traits that you gotta know what it is you able to live with. You gotta know what you're able to live with. Some people are able to live with a person that just boo-boo crazy. They can deal with it. They can live with it. They talk like, and you look at it like, nah, it's no way. But somebody else's tolerance might be, nah, I don't put up with that at all. You may not have a problem with your woman smoking a cigarette. I'm like, nope, deal breaker. Nope. Some people don't care. No, I wasn't saying that any of the women were upset. I was saying that I hope I didn't upset anybody, because sometimes people get triggered if something is said that may strike a nerve or may be relative to either a current or past situation. Or if I say something that they may disagree with. See, I think I made a video or a live about dealing with disagreement. We kind of live in a society now where, I don't say we live in a society now where if somebody disagrees with you, it's like the worst thing in the world. They're the worst person, they're the enemy, kill him, burn his property. When it's all right to disagree, it's fine. See? That's how it is. That's how it goes down. Erica says, some people like Joel Osteen. Some people are like Joel Osteen. You think they are spiritual, but then in the long run, you see their behavior is like a snake. Well, I can't say I disagree with you about old Joel. I'm not a fan of Joel Osteen. But, like you said, some people like Joel Osteen. Some people if you get something out of it, I can't knock you. If you get some good, if he says something that you apply to your life and it makes you better, hey man, I can't knock it. But I'm not a fan personally. I'm not a fan. The peaceful penguin sends the roses and love out to the ladies. Peace to you, Jay Boozy One. I think man and woman should lay everything out on the table from the start. That way we know what we are dealing with from the start. Yeah. The only problem with that is that sometimes when one or the other or both really like each other, they are afraid to lay everything out on the table because they're scared that if they say something, it's going to scare the other person off. I don't want to tell her on the first date that I did 15 years for murder and I just got out about 2 years ago. But I'm a different man. I'm a changed man. I don't know how to tell her that. And he's really a changed man. He ain't like that. Or it might have been an accident. It might have been a situation where he had to defend himself. But on the first date, because these days, but I don't know, you Brother Chris, you probably right, because it's a lot of things that are, see, some of the things that are a deal breaker in potential relationships now, in my opinion, shouldn't be. And certain things that we might look at that you might think would be a deal breaker, then they're not. You might tell her that you did 15 years for murder. That might make her like you more. They like danger. But yeah, my dad told me a long time ago, he said, you just tell a woman what you like and what you don't like. And that came off to me when I was younger, that came off to me like real harsh. Like it came off as real, like a domineering spirit. Like you tell a woman what you like and what you don't like. And I was like, but I understand the spirit that he meant it in. It's like, because she can do the same thing. That's the other half of it. There's nothing wrong with a woman telling you what she like and you don't, because it gives y'all a chance to say, oh, well, I ain't gonna do that. So that's not gonna happen. You really like a woman. I'm getting a lot of ads, y'all. That's something new, man. They just throw that on. I don't have no control over. I'm gonna see if it's. I'm sorry about these commercials, y'all. I don't. It's a feature on here that you can't skip over and avoid. So, man, I hate that. But I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, I mean, I lost my thought, y'all. I'm sorry. But yeah, you tell a person what you like. That's what I was saying. Because you meet this guy and you really like this guy. And he's not telling you everything. Then all of a sudden when you really start liking him, he tells you, well, I believe in polygamy. I have 6 women that live with me, and I want you to be the 7th. Yeah. Yeah, if she tell me she like pig feet, I'm gonna try to give her the knowledge of why she shouldn't eat pig feet. I ain't just gonna bail. I'm gonna say, look, let me try to explain what pig is all about. and why we should not be eating it. And if she cussed me out and tell me what I eat, I'm a grown woman, I eat whatever I want to eat. Yeah. Okay, now we gotta go our separate ways. But you may explain to her, you may show her. Some people have never been shown. They don't have knowledge of certain things that they don't understand. And then when they see it, they like, I never knew that. I never knew that pork was bad for me. I never knew that pork was divinely forbidden for us to eat. I never knew that. I never knew that God didn't want us eating the swine. I never knew that. She may have never known it. And then when you break it down, she may stop overnight or over a period of time. Some people can't stop overnight. A week or two in, she ain't eating pig no more. But if she argue me down behind that pig, it's over. It's all over. Ain't nothing wrong with the pig. See? Jesus made the swine, Jesus made the pork clean. Y'all ever heard that one before? That's the Old Testament. See, you speak about the old law. That's the Old Testament. That don't mean nothing now. Pig was nasty then. If it was just the old law, then people wouldn't be getting sick from eating pork like they still are today. If the law wasn't relevant anymore in terms of the law of allowing it to be eaten, then that would mean in my eyes that the negative effects of it, the law would have lifted that, right? It's still killing people. Erica says protecting each other is what marriage should be about. Yeah. But we have been bit by the snake. This societal snake venom is in us to where it ain't about protecting each other. It's about protecting me. It's about protecting me. I'm in this thing for me. Yeah, you're right. I heard that about the Denver airport. I've been there a few times. Yeah, man. The moral to this live, y'all, is just go for people based on who they are, not based on what they got, not based on what material stuff they can do for you. Don't let that be your initial point of attack. I'm going straight for the wallet. And it's all right to have high self-esteem. I'm not against, but quit thinking. See, the difference between high self-esteem and delusional entitlement. Nobody owes you nothing because you look good. I don't owe you anything because you're attractive physically. I don't owe you that. If you want to go out with me, you're going to have to pay. I don't owe you my money because I asked you on a date. You don't owe me your body because I got a nice car and some money. Anunnaki, the Jewish guy told you right. Yeah, the Jewish guy told you right. Do you think a follower of God and an atheist could have a good marriage? No. Now, it's a lot of people on this planet, and I feel like all types of combinations have occurred. So I'm sure there's an atheist married to somebody who believes in God, but I just believe that if God is not at the head, I couldn't trust being in a relationship with somebody who doesn't believe in the very power that I believe sustains all of us. I would want to know their reasoning, because people don't believe in God for different reasons. And one thing that my dad taught me is that if you come across somebody who says that they don't believe in God, find out why before you start condemning them. Because as crazy as this might sound on the surface, think beyond the surface, because I don't want y'all to get twisted what I'm saying. As crazy as this may sound, if you hear a person's story, it may make you understand why they don't believe in God. They may have had hell from the jump, from day one. All kind of terrible things may have happened to this person where it's like, there's no way, I've seen no signs of God in my life. So in that regard, I don't believe, it's no way there can be a God. Then somebody comes along later and explains to them why things happened, and they were victims of circumstance and condition that they had no control over. And this is why, and the things that man does as opposed to what God does and what God allows, and establishing this and that. And then you go, okay, well, I understand why you think like that. I get it. Don't agree with it, but no, our child is going to be raised with ideology. They say, no, it's not. I don't believe in that. It's going to be raised. So it's a lot of dynamics that can go into that. That's like people of different religions marry. It's almost the same. People of different religions. So a Muslim marries a Christian, and they argue over if we're going to let our children celebrate Christmas. We walking through the mall, and Junior want to go sit on Santa Claus lap, and I go, oh, hell no. And his mama go, oh, it's Christmas, it's Santa. How can that work? The Black Iron Fist. Yeah, man, I wanted to cover this topic on this channel, y'all. This is where we are right now. Y'all can't see it, too much light. Well, y'all know where y'all at. But subscribe to the channel. Keep your notifications on. And again, deal with people based on this, not this. All right, man, I'll catch y'all later on. Peace and love.